Most people get a headstone. These celebrities got cannon launches, sea burials, and smuggled space missions. Their final requests broke every rule, and no one stopped them. Shakespeare's bone-cursed tomb. William didn't trust grave robbers. He didn't want to be dug up, moved, or studied. So he wrote his own warning and had it carved onto his tombstone before he died. He was buried under the floor of Holy Trinity Church in Stratford-upon-Avon. That alone was unusual. Most people were buried outside, but Shakespeare had influence. He secured a spot inside the church, near the altar, and then added a message for anyone thinking about disturbing his bones. The warning reads, "Good friend, for Jesus' sake forbear, to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones." Not subtle, and people have listened. His grave has never been opened, even when other famous writers had theirs moved or examined. In fact, when researchers in the 1800s asked to dig him up for study, they were denied. Even today, British scientists have debated whether to use modern technology to scan or open the grave. They backed off. There was one exception. In 2016, archaeologists used radar to take a peek beneath the stone. What they found was strange. The grave had no metal coffin, no nameplate, and maybe no skull. The head might be missing. A rumor dating back to the 1800s claimed someone stole it from the grave. But without opening the tomb, no one can confirm anything. Still, the curse worked. For over 400 years, people have left Shakespeare alone. That's rare. Most historical figures, even royalty, have had their remains disturbed, studied, or relocated. Shakespeare made sure he stayed put. Just a few lines of poetry, and the world backed off. His tomb doesn't stand out. It's a simple stone slab, just a few feet long, flat against the church floor. Tourists walk over it every day. But that slab might be the most successfully guarded grave in history, without any guards at all. No bones have been moved, no scientists allowed, and not a single person has dared to test the curse. That's Shakespeare's final plot twist, and it's lasted longer than any of his plays. Houdini's secret code grave. Harry didn't believe in ghosts, but he was open to proving himself wrong. Before he died, he made a promise to his wife, Bess. If there really was an afterlife, he'd send her a message from the other side. A code, something only the two of them knew. The secret phrase was made up of 10 words. Bess memorized it. They never wrote it down. Houdini told her that if any medium came forward claiming to contact his spirit, she should ask for the code. If they couldn't give it, they were fakes. After Houdini died on Halloween 1926, Bess held a seance every year on the anniversary of his death. Always on the roof of their home, always in silence, candles lit. She invited friends, reporters, and psychics. For 10 years, she waited. Each time, someone claimed to reach him. Each time, the code was wrong. She finally gave up in 1936. She said, 10 years is long enough to wait for any man. The last seance was held at the Knickerbocker Hotel in Hollywood. Nothing happened. Houdini stayed silent. His grave is in Machpelah Cemetery in Queens, New York. It's marked with a large granite monument, his name carved boldly into the front. Around it sit smaller graves of family members, but it's the Houdini name that draws fans, magicians, and skeptics alike. People still visit, hoping to feel something strange. The grave has been vandalized over the years, but the legend has stayed intact. Some magicians still hold seances there on Halloween, though it's more tribute than belief at this point. No one expects a code anymore. And the actual phrase? Bess never revealed it. That was the final layer of protection. Without the code, no one could fake contact. Even now, no one knows what it was. Houdini escaped handcuffs, jail cells, and sealed crates. But death? That's the one thing he couldn't break out of. And maybe he knew it. That's why the code mattered so much. It wasn't about proving life after death. It was about proving honesty in a world full of fakes. Eva Peron's Body Odyssey. She died young, but her body didn't stay put. In fact, it spent more time being hidden, stolen, and smuggled than it ever did resting in peace. When she passed in 1952, the Argentine government had her embalmed by a specialist named Dr. Pedro Ara. He preserved her so well that people said she looked like she was sleeping. The body was displayed in Buenos Aires for weeks, where millions lined up to say goodbye. Then the politics got messy. In 1955, her husband, President Juan Perón, was overthrown by a military coup. The new rulers wanted Eva's influence erased. Her corpse was stolen and disappeared. For years, no one knew where it was. Turns out it had been secretly shipped to Italy and buried under a fake name in a Milan cemetery. The tombstone read, Maria Maggi. That was meant to keep grave robbers and political enemies away. It worked. For a while. In 1971, after 16 years underground, Eva's body was exhumed and flown to Spain, where Juan Perón was living in exile. He kept her in his house, stored in a coffin near the dining room. His third wife, Isabel, reportedly combed Eva's hair and kept the body cleaned. This wasn't a museum. This was their home. After Juan Perón returned to power in Argentina in the 70s, Eva's body was eventually brought back too. She was buried at Recoleta Cemetery in Buenos Aires, in her family's tomb. But this time, the grave was reinforced with concrete, steel, and multiple trapdoors. It's one of the most secure burial sites on Earth. People still visit her there. Some bring flowers. Some bring questions. The journey of her body turned into its own political saga. It passed through countries, regimes, and decades of fear. Most world leaders are buried with ceremony and permanence. Eva's final resting place took nearly 25 years to get right. And even now, her grave isn't about peace, it's about protection. Groucho Marx's joke headstone. He spent his whole life making people laugh. Naturally, he had jokes ready for death too. One of his favorites? He once said his gravestone should read, "Excuse me, I can't stand up." Friends loved it. Fans expected it. But when he died, the line didn't make the cut. Instead, he was cremated and placed in a simple crypt at Eden Memorial Park in Mission Hills, California. The plaque is plain, just his name, Groucho Marx. No joke, no famous last words. No mustache engraving. Nothing flashy. Why didn't the funny epitaph make it? Some say the family wanted a more respectful tone. Others think Groucho was just being Groucho, joking around, not giving instructions. Either way, it surprised a lot of people. Even without the punchline, the grave draws visitors. Fans leave fake mustaches, cigars, and handwritten notes. Some scribble quotes from his movies. Others just take pictures in silence. It's become more of a comedy shrine than a quiet resting place. Groucho didn't like seriousness. He poked fun at everything. Hollywood, fame, even death. In one interview, when asked about the afterlife, he said, "I intend to live forever or die trying." He didn't, but his style lived on. The odd part, there's another empty crypt nearby with his brother Gummo's name on it. Gummo was buried elsewhere. It's just sitting there, labeled and unused. Some fans think that's the real Groucho joke, an unoccupied grave right next to him, labeled for the wrong brother. Even in death, Groucho got people talking. And even though the gravestone didn't get the big laugh he wanted, the fans make up for it. They bring the humor with them. The place feels less like a cemetery and more like the set of a very quiet comedy show. Tupac's cremains rolled in blunt. Shakur's death was followed by conspiracy theories, tributes, and rumors that haven't stopped since 1996. But one post-death story stands out not for mystery, but for how strange and specific it is. In 2001, members of Tupac's rap group, The Outlaws, went public with a claim they had smoked some of his ashes. Yes, literally. In an interview with MTV and again in a later documentary, they explained how it happened. They were on a beach, holding a private tribute. Someone rolled a blunt, mixed in a pinch of cremains, and lit it. Why would they do that? According to the group, it was Tupac's idea. In his 1996 song Black Jesus, he rapped, "Last wishes and smoke my ashes." That line wasn't just a throwaway. The Outlaws took it seriously. They said it felt right, like honoring a pact. The reaction was mixed. Some fans were stunned. Others didn't believe it. A few even said it was disrespectful. But the Outlaws stood by it. They claimed it was a private moment, not a stunt. No photos, no press, just them and the beach. And the ashes? Tupac was cremated shortly after his death. The exact location of his remains has never been confirmed. There's no public gravesite, no memorial, no plaque. That only added fuel to the rumors. Some fans insist he faked his death. Others believe the smoking story proves there's no body to find. But the cremation was real. The autopsy report confirms it. His mother, Afeni Shakur, handled the arrangements. She never commented on the Outlaws story, but she did protect Tupac's legacy fiercely. If she had wanted to shut the rumor down, she would have. Tupac's influence was massive, even in death. His lyrics, his image, his voice, they never really left. The idea of his ashes being smoked sounds unbelievable until you realize who he was. Tupac didn't follow rules. He challenged them. Even his funeral wasn't typical. There was no church service, no long eulogy, just a sudden goodbye. So if his closest friends lit one up with his ashes in it, weird as it sounds, it might be the most Tupac thing they could have done. Whether you believe it or not, it's one of the strangest send-offs in music history. James Doohan's space launch funeral. He spent decades pretending to fly through space as Scotty on Star Trek. After he died in 2005, part of him actually made the trip. Doohan was cremated shortly after his death. His family wanted to honor his biggest wish, to have his ashes launched into space. They didn't rush it. In 2007, a small portion of his remains were sent on a brief suborbital flight by Space Services Inc., a private company offering memorial launches. The flight went up, came down, and scattered the ashes in the atmosphere. That alone would have made headlines. But that wasn't the strangest part. In 2008, entrepreneur Richard Garriott became the 6th private citizen to travel to the International Space Station. He quietly brought a laminated card containing Doohan's ashes, hidden in the floor of the Columbus module. He didn't tell NASA until later. The plan wasn't official, it was personal. Garriott had known Doohan and wanted to do something meaningful. The secret was kept for years. Finally, in 2020, Garriott confirmed it to the Times of London. He said the ashes were still up there, sealed under the floor. No ceremony, no plaque. Just a quiet tribute to a man who spent his life dreaming of the stars. His family had tried several times to get approval for a full orbital burial. Most requests were denied or delayed. They finally managed to get 2 small missions off the ground, one in 2007 and another in 2012, but neither stayed in orbit long. Only Garriott's secret mission made it permanent. There's no official record in NASA's database listing Doohan's remains. The agency likely turned a blind eye. It wasn't a risk, just a gesture, one that Star Trek fans still talk about. Today, visitors to the International Space Station have no idea they're floating above Earth with part of Scotty on board. There's no marker, no announcement, no sign, but he's there. Hunter S. Thompson's canon send-off. He didn't want a grave. He wanted a show. When he died in 2005, he left instructions for a send-off that was loud, strange, and unforgettable. And his friend Johnny Depp made sure it happened. Thompson had written for years about his ideal funeral. He wanted his ashes fired from a giant cannon shaped like a fist with fireworks blasting overhead. It wasn't just a joke. He described it in detail, location, shape, even the music. So when the time came, Depp paid over $3 million to make it real. The cannon was built in Colorado on Thompson's Owl Farm property. It stood 153 feet tall and was topped with the Gonzo Fist logo, 2 thumbs gripping a peyote button. Friends, family, and celebrities flew in for the event. Jack Nicholson was there, so was Bill Murray. Security kept it private, but the photos leaked later. The ceremony didn't follow tradition. There were drinks, speeches, and rock music. Then, as night fell, the cannon fired. Thompson's ashes exploded into the sky with a massive burst of fireworks. The crowd cheered. Some cried. Some just stood there, stunned. It wasn't held in a church or a funeral home. It wasn't about peace or closure. It was pure chaos, just how he liked it. The idea of blasting cremains into the sky was rare at the time. Now, it's a service you can buy. But Thompson's was the original spectacle. It wasn't about following a trend. It was about flipping the entire funeral tradition on its head. Even his neighbors weren't surprised. They'd known him for years. This was exactly the kind of exit they expected. Loud, strange, and final. Thompson's ashes didn't land in a cemetery. There's no marker to visit. His grave is the sky above Woody Creek. That's where he made his exit. Some people write wills. Thompson wrote a finale. No sermons, no graveside silence. Just a cannon, a fireball, and a writer who left the way he lived, fast, loud, and without apology. Elizabeth Taylor's fashionably late funeral. When she passed away in 2011, she made one final demand: show up to her funeral 15 minutes late. The detail wasn't accidental. Taylor had it written into her plans. She wanted to arrive late to her own funeral, just as she had to so many movie premieres and red carpets. And the people organizing it followed through. Her service took place at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. That's the same cemetery where Walt Disney, Michael Jackson, and Clark Gable are buried. The ceremony was private, attended by close friends and family only. Paparazzi were kept far from the gates. She arrived in a custom Rolls-Royce hearse covered in flowers. When the service was set to begin, organizers delayed the start by exactly 15 minutes. No explanation was given to guests. Then the car pulled in. Taylor's casket was closed. She had converted to Judaism in the 1950s, and her funeral followed Jewish traditions. That meant no open viewing, no lengthy speeches. Just prayers, songs, and a quiet farewell. Her burial site is simple and clean. No towering monument, no giant statue. Just a white marble ledger stone with her name and dates. The only inscription, in loving memory. For someone who'd lived in the spotlight for over 60 years, the low-key funeral surprised a lot of people. But the planned delay, that was all Elizabeth. She'd spent her life on her terms, fighting studio contracts, marrying who she wanted, surviving illness, and raising millions for HIV/AIDS awareness when few dared to talk about it. Being 15 minutes late wasn't just a nod to habit, it was a final wink. Even in death, Taylor made sure she wasn't just remembered, she was noticed. No drama, no headline stunt. Just one perfectly timed moment that made everyone there smile and say, "That's so, Liz." She didn't want a performance. She just wanted the final entrance to feel like her. And it did. Quiet, elegant, and just a little bit late. David Bowie's Secret Sea Burial. He didn't want a funeral. No crowd. No speeches. No final curtain call. When he died in January 2016, he left strict instructions. Keep it private, quiet, and off the radar. His body was cremated shortly after death in New Jersey. There was no viewing, no public notice. Not even his closest friends were invited. The decision shocked many, but it was exactly what Bowie had planned. His ashes weren't kept in an urn or placed in a family plot. Instead, they were scattered in Bali during a private Buddhist ceremony. The details weren't revealed right away. Months later, the family confirmed the location but didn't release photos or dates. No shrine, no marker, just the ocean. He had studied Buddhism in his youth and remained drawn to its ideas. The sea burial matched his wish for a peaceful, spiritual exit. He didn't want attention, he wanted release. Even in life, Bowie avoided labels. He changed identities constantly. Ziggy Stardust, the Thin White Duke, Aladdin Sane. So it made sense that in death, he didn't want one fixed place for fans to visit. He didn't want to become a statue or a memorial stop. He just wanted to go. His family honored every part of his plan. No funeral announcement was made until after it happened. Friends and collaborators only found out after the fact. Some were hurt, but most understood. He had fought cancer privately for 18 months and didn't want to make his final days a public story. There's no gravestone with his name on it. No memorial concert was held at the time. Just silence, followed by a slow wave of tributes from fans across the world. And still, no one knows the exact beach, the exact hour, or who was there when his ashes were released. That was the point. It wasn't for the cameras, it was for him. David Bowie exited the stage without a spotlight, no encore, no crowd noise, just a quiet ending, somewhere far away, with the sound of waves instead of applause. That's how he wanted it. And that's exactly what he got. Carrie Fisher's Prozac urn. She never did anything the normal way. So, when it came to her funeral, her final resting place had a twist. Half her ashes were buried beside her mother, Debbie Reynolds. The other half, they were placed inside a giant ceramic Prozac pill. The urn wasn't planned in advance. Her daughter, Billie Lourd, picked it after seeing it in Carrie's home. It was one of her favorite possessions, a huge green and white pill capsule labeled Prozac. It had sat in the corner for years like a weird piece of pop art. Billie later said, she loved it. It was her favorite thing. That made the choice easy. Carrie died from cardiac arrest aboard a flight from London to Los Angeles. She passed away in the hospital 4 days later. Her mother died the very next day from a stroke. The double tragedy shook Hollywood. Their memorial was held at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Los Angeles. Friends like Meryl Streep, Mark Hamill, and Billie Lourd gave private tributes. The family kept the service small. Carrie's humor, though, stayed front and center. The urn became the unexpected star. Photos surfaced of the Prozac capsule being carried gently through the cemetery. Some fans thought it was a joke. It wasn't. That was really her. Carrie had always been open about her mental health. She talked about bipolar disorder long before it was common in public spaces. She made jokes about it on talk shows, turned it into writing material, and made people laugh while she explained what living with it meant. The urn wasn't a gimmick, it was the final punchline to a life full of honesty, struggle, and dark humor. There's no statue or mausoleum, just a quiet grave shared with her mother and a quirky, very Carrie keepsake that made people smile through tears. It didn't follow any rule of funeral tradition, but that was Carrie Fisher. Actress, writer, and unapologetically herself, even in the end. Her fans still bring flowers, lightsabers, and even plastic pill toys to her grave. Not out of disrespect, but because they know she would have laughed, and maybe rolled her eyes.
Giovanni Jackson, Daddy's Girl. The red carpet transforms our favorite stars into living works of art. But what happens when the spotlights dim and real life takes center stage? Today we're pulling back the curtain to reveal the fascinating contrast between Hollywood glamour and everyday reality. Join us as we explore both worlds of over 40 beloved celebrities. Charlize Theron knows how to command attention. Red carpet. Charlize, pure elegance in sleek gowns and perfect makeup. Her signature move? Those jaw-dropping Dior moments and diamonds could light up a small city. But grabbing coffee? Total flip. She rocks oversized sweaters and well-worn joggers like it's nobody's business. No fancy styling, no camera-ready poses, just Charlize doing her thing. Her off-duty style screams comfort over glamour. And honestly, she pulls off both looks without breaking a sweat. Amy Adams brings the drama when duty calls. Award shows see her floating down red carpets in show-stopping gowns. Hair? Flawless. Makeup? On point. Those vintage-inspired dresses and emerald jewels, they're basically her red carpet trademark now. But here's the plot twist. Regular Amy loves nothing more than basic leggings and comfy hoodies. She's out there living that sneaker life, blending in with other moms at the grocery store. No trace of Hollywood polish needed. Even her casual mom bun has become somewhat legendary in LA coffee shops. Jennifer Connelly never misses on the red carpet. Her weapon of choice? Sleek outfits that scream sophistication. Those Louis Vuitton moments? Absolutely unmatched in the fashion game. But flip the script to her daily routine. You'll spot her rocking structured blazers with lived-in jeans. She's got that effortlessly put-together thing down pat. No fussy details, just clean lines and classic pieces. Even in sneakers, she manages to look more polished than most of us on our best days. That's talent. Her street style has basically become the blueprint for elevated casual wear. Ana de Armas comes alive under those flash bulbs. She serves old Hollywood glam with a modern twist. those delicate jewelry choices and perfectly fitted gowns, pure magic on the red carpet scene. But here's where it gets good. Off camera, she's all about those denim shorts and loose tops. No stylist required, just genuine laid-back vibes. She's proof you don't need all the bells and whistles to turn heads. Red carpet Helena serves pure drama, layers upon layers, unexpected combinations and accessories that shouldn't work but totally do. Those Vivienne Westwood moments? Absolutely iconic in the fashion history books. And guess what? Her everyday style packs just as much personality. Flowing skirts, vintage finds, and those round sunglasses make every sidewalk her personal runway. Mix in some colorful boots and mismatched patterns. That's just a typical Tuesday. She's not trying to blend in, and that's the whole point. Bold choices, zero apologies. Julianne Moore owns the sophistication game. Those red carpet moments, pure class in monochrome outfits that could make anyone jealous. Her go-to designers know exactly how to make her red hair pop against those carefully chosen colors. But don't let the glamour fool you. Regular days see her keeping things refreshingly simple. Neutral sweaters, perfectly cut coats, and easy trousers make up her go-to looks. Kate Winslet brings the heat to every premiere. Structured gowns, timeless vibes, classic beauty, she's got the formula down. Those sleek updos and minimal jewelry choices? They've become her signature red carpet move. Cut to real life, she's serving comfort with a side of cool. Think cozy knits, well-loved jeans, and that's Winslet ownership. Her casual leather jacket collection deserves its own museum, honestly. No need for fancy tricks when you've got natural star power. She proves good style and doesn't need a red carpet to shine. Just add authenticity and you're golden. Zendaya? She's in a league of her own. Red carpet Zendaya switches it up from bold couture to sleek modernism without breaking stride. Every designer's dream muse, she makes headlines just by showing up. Off-duty, though? She's all about that high-low mix. Oversized blazers meet street-style sneakers. Designer pieces crash into vintage finds. Her ability to rock both Valentino and thrifted pieces? Unmatched. Rachel McAdams brings warmth to every event, those red carpet moments, pure romance in feminine cuts and soft glam that just works. Her secret weapon? Those perfectly timed pops of color and vintage-inspired silhouettes that never miss. But here's the real deal. Off-duty Rachel keeps it super chill. She's out there rocking comfy sweaters and lived-in jeans like a pro. Those no-makeup coffee runs are basically a masterclass in natural beauty. Jennifer Lawrence knows how to work those premiere vibes. Glam gowns, sleek hair, makeup that hits all the right notes. Her Dior moments have become legendary, serving up that perfect mix of classic and fresh. But catch her on a regular Tuesday? Total mood shift. She's all about those relaxed jeans and cozy sweater combos. Add in some messy buns and shades, pure gold. Zero pretense, maximum comfort. Emma Watson serves brains and beauty in equal measure. Red carpet? Emma? Think polished perfection in structured gowns that mean business. Those sustainable fashion choices and ethical brands? They're basically her trademark now. Off-duty style tells a different story. Scholarly vibes meet cool girl ease. Tailored coats, simple blouses, smart accessories. Her capsule wardrobe game deserves its own TED Talk. She's not chasing trends. She's setting her own pace. In jeans or couture, that confident edge never fades. Smart never looked so good. Zoe Saldana brings the heat every single time. Awards show Zoe, pure fire in sleek fits that show she came to slay. Those architectural gowns and bold jewelry choices, they deserve their own Instagram account. But real-life Zoe keeps it breezy with flowy dresses and perfectly worn-in jeans. Her street style has become the blueprint for busy moms everywhere. Minimal makeup, maximum impact, that's her formula. Mila Kunis brings that classic glam when duty calls. Red carpet moments? She's all about those sleek dresses and killer makeup looks. Her smoky eyes and perfectly styled waves? They've become red carpet legend. But regular Mila? Total vibe shift. She's team comfy all the way. Hoodies, broken-in jeans, sneakers that have seen better days. Those paparazzi shots of her grocery store runs? Pure, relatable content. No flashy moves needed. She's out there living her best life without the Hollywood extras. Real is always in style. Rachel Weisz knows her way around a premiere. Those sophisticated gowns and subtle sparkle. Pure magic. Her secret weapon? That timeless elegance that makes every designer's creation look like it was made just for her. Cut to everyday Rachel. She's serving up something totally different. Perfectly worn coats, easy sweaters, that natural glow. Her London street style has become the ultimate guide to elevated basics. Sarah Jessica Parker never plays it safe. Every red carpet is her personal fashion playground. Bold colors, wild textures, accessories for days. Those Met Gala moments, they deserve their own fashion history chapter. But street style SJP, just as iconic. She mixes those boho skirts with layered jackets like nobody's business. Her shoe game alone could fill a museum. Comfort meets cool in the best way possible. She's not following trends, she's creating them. Cara Delevingne brings edge to everything she touches. Award shows get full glam. Sharp suits, statement dresses, makeup that could start a revolution. Those gender-bending fashion moments, pure fashion gold that's changing the game. Off-duty, pure rebel vibes. Beanies, oversized everything, zero filter attitude. Her street style has sparked more trends than most influencers' entire careers. She's writing her own rules and having way more fun than everyone else. Working or chilling, that bold energy never takes a day off. Jenna Ortega owns that gothic glam life. Red carpet Jenna, dark vibes, corset details, makeup that screams main character energy. Those Versace moments and edgy Gucci fits. They're rewriting the young Hollywood-style rulebook. But off-duty, she's still bringing that alt-girl edge. Combat boots meet baggy jeans in the best way possible. Her thrifted vintage pieces get as much attention as her designer looks. She's keeping that Wednesday Addams energy alive, just make it casual. Every look feels intentional, even when she's just grabbing coffee. That's when your style is actually yours. Emma Stone nails that Hollywood Golden Girl vibe. Premiere nights get the full treatment. Structured gowns, perfect red lips, waves for days. Those Louis Vuitton red carpet moments, pure fashion history in the making. Regular Emma's all about those easy sneakers and throw-on-and-go sweaters. Baseball caps replace those glamorous updos. Her coffee run style has launched countless Pinterest boards. Angelina Jolie commands attention without even trying. Those red carpet moments, pure drama in flowing black gowns and killer silhouettes. Her Saint Laurent and Valentino choices have become legendary in fashion circles. But Daily Angie keeps it practical. Classic trenches, neutral tones, those signature oversized shades. The way she turns airport terminals into runways, iconic. She's not trying to make headlines, she just naturally does. Even grocery runs look like scenes from a movie. That's what star power looks like in real life. Margaret Qualley brings that sweet sophistication everywhere. Events get the full treatment. Vintage vibes, delicate details, soft glam that works. Her Chanel partnerships showcase that perfect mix of classic and fresh energy. Off-duty Margaret, just as charming in oversized hoodies and easy trousers. Those candid street shots could be straight out of a French fashion magazine. Ballet flats instead of stilettos. That graceful energy shows up whether she's on camera or not. Rebecca Ferguson brings power moves to every premiere. Red carpet ready means tailored fits and bold styling. Her Cannes Film Festival appearances, they've become masterclasses in modern elegance. But real-life Rebecca? Pure chill vibes. She's rocking those lived-in jeans and sneakers like they're haute couture. Those Stockholm street-style moments set serious trends. Minimal makeup, maximum impact. She's got that quiet confidence that makes basic look bougie. Some people just know how to work both lanes without breaking a sweat. Maggie Gyllenhaal keeps it artsy 24/7. Award shows get the full treatment. Unconventional cuts, vintage-inspired everything, colors that make you look twice. Her indie spirit shows up in every Proenza Scholar and Chloe Choice. Daily life, still serving looks. Cozy turtlenecks meet wide-leg pants in perfect harmony. New York's fashion crowd takes notes when she hits the streets. Her style just naturally speaks volumes. Even coffee runs feel like art gallery visits. Demi Moore wrote the book on red carpet moments. Classic black dresses, clean lines, timeless beauty that never gets old. Those iconic Zac Posen and Versace moments still get referenced today. Off-duty, Demi tells a different story. Simple tees, comfy cardies, sneakers that actually see sidewalks. Her casual style has influenced more celebs than most realize. No fancy tricks needed when you've got that natural star quality. She proves good style isn't about the price tag, it's about wearing it like you mean it. Margot Robbie switches lanes like a pro. Premiere nights? Pure Hollywood magic and bold gowns and perfect styling. Her Chanel ambassador role has given us some serious fashion history moments, but Beach Day Margot hits different. Flowy sundresses, major sunnies, zero-effort cool that feels so right. That surfer girl meets movie star vibe has launched countless style blogs. No one's trying to serve looks here, they just happen naturally. That Aussie charm never takes a break. Felicity Jones keeps it classy on the red carpet. Structured gowns, soft curls, refined color choices that never miss. Her British fashion influence shows in every perfectly tailored Alexander McQueen moment. But everyday Felicity? Total understated queen. Long coats meet simple dresses in perfect harmony. London street-style photographers know she never disappoints. Those practical flats? They work harder than PR teams during award season. She's proof that true style doesn't need a spotlight to shine. Sometimes the best looks happen on random Tuesday afternoons. Elizabeth Olsen works with that modern minimalist angle. Events get the full treatment. Monochrome magic, sleek lines, high fashion that feels fresh. Her row choices prove good style runs in the family. Regular days see her in those cozy sweaters and killer boots. Oversized coats become her signature move. Fashion blogs can't get enough of her elevated basics game. Nicole Kidman owns the fashion game from every angle. Red carpet Nicole? Pure royalty and couture that belongs in museums. Those Balenciaga and Armani Privé moments have changed the game completely. Her running around town? She keeps it real. Easy denim, simple blouses, ballet flats that actually touch pavement. Her Nashville mom style is just as influential as her red carpet looks. She's not trying to make headlines, they just follow her anyway. Anna Kendrick brings the charm offensive everywhere she goes. Premiere nights get playful elegance. Think fun dresses with personality plus. Off-duty Anna, just as sparkly in basic jeans and comfy sweaters. Those sneakers tell stories of real-life adventures. She's keeping it authentic whether she's promoting films or walking dogs. That energy never takes a day off. Jennifer Garner keeps it real every single day. Red carpet moments get that classic treatment. Elegant gowns with minimal fuss. But regular Jennifer? Pure mom-on-the-go energy. Cozy sweaters, practical sneakers, jeans that actually move. No fancy games needed when you're this authentic. She's out there proving comfort and style aren't enemies. Alicia Vikander brings European flair wherever she goes. Award shows see her in minimalist perfection, clean lines, natural glam, refined vibes only. Daily life? Alicia, still serving looks. Sleek turtlenecks meet relaxed slacks like they were made for each other. She's got that luxury thing down pat. Even random street shots look like fashion campaigns, just part of her DNA. Sydney Sweeney serving looks in every lane. Red carpet, Sydney comes with full glam energy. Daring dresses, bold makeup, hair that won't quit. Off-duty mode, though. Oversized sweaters, cool girl jeans, and sneakers that mean business. She's part of that new wave that switches between full glam and street style like it's nothing. Eva Green brings mystery to everything she touches. Premieres get the full treatment. Moody colors, rich fabrics, vibes that feel like cinema. Off-camera, still enchanting. Dark tones, perfect coats, effortless chic that feels so right. She doesn't need flashy moves to turn heads. Her presence does all the talking. Some people just naturally give main character energy. Scarlett Johansson knows how to work every angle. Red carpet moments bring out the showstopper. Sleek gowns, bold necklines, updos that mean business. But real-life Scarlett? Pure cool girl vibes. Leather jackets meet basic tees like they were always meant to be. Those comfy sneakers tell stories of actual city walks. She's not playing the fame game off-duty. She's just living it. Sometimes the best style is just being yourself. Ariana Grande brings full glam energy to every event. Award shows get the whole package. Dramatic ball gowns, signature ponytail, makeup that could launch 1,000 TikToks. Daily life? Still iconic. Just make it cozy. Oversized everything, platform sneakers, Y2K vibes that won't quit. She's got that thing where even grabbing coffee looks like a music video. Anne Hathaway serves princess energy with a modern twist. Premiere nights see her in full fantasy mode, elegant gowns that belong in fairy tales. On random days, she's just as magical in tailored coats and ballet flats. She's mastered that whole effortlessly polished thing. Working or wandering, that movie star charm never fades. Real queens adjust their crowns in athleisure. Time seems to bend around Kirsten Dunst's wardrobe choices. Those dreamy vintage finds and perfectly worn-in denim tell stories of decades past. Watch her float through award shows in ethereal laces one day, then pop up at local flea markets hunting for that perfect retro sweater the next. Her style's got that old soul charm that makes fashion historians swoon. Even her go-to flats look like they've danced through several eras of Hollywood glamour. Rosamund Pike masters the art of the subtle power move. Every piece in her arsenal speaks in whispers rather than shouts. Those razor-sharp coats, those precisely chosen accessories. Forget the usual Hollywood playbook. She's writing her own rules with a distinctly British twist. Between takes, she'll stroll through London streets looking like she walks straight out of a Highsmith novel. Her minimal makeup and well-cut basics carry more intrigue than most people's full glam. Brie Larson's got this whole fashion game figured out from a different angle. One minute she's commanding red carpets in architectural wonders that could double as modern art installations. Next thing you know, she's raiding vintage shops in perfectly broken-in jeans, looking like your coolest friend who just happens to save the universe on weekends. Her wardrobe choices flip between bold statement pieces and that laid-back California ease. Olivia Wilde masters modern cool without breaking a sweat. Events get structured pieces with edge, bold details that make you look twice. Off-duty Olivia is just as sharp. Relaxed blazers meet perfect trousers in harmony. She's got that whole "I woke up like this" vibe, except it actually looks real. Directing or just directing herself to coffee, that confidence never sleeps. Natalie Portman rocks minimalism like nobody else in Hollywood. Her Dior moments pack serious punch. Clean lines, perfect fits, zero extras needed. Those structured gowns turn heads without trying too hard. But here's the real deal about Natalie. She's got that smart casual game locked down tight. Sharp trousers meet simple knits in all the right ways. Her coffee run outfits spark more style trends than most red carpet looks. She's not playing the fashion game, she's just living it. Even her grocery store runs have fashion editors taking notes. One minute, an actress is poised to take over the industry, and the next, she's blacklisted. That's exactly what happened to Tippi Hedren in the 1960s. She was plucked from obscurity by Alfred Hitchcock himself, landing the lead role in The Birds and Marnie. To anyone else, it would have seemed like she hit the jackpot, working with one of the most powerful directors in Hollywood. But the dream quickly turned into a nightmare when Hitchcock's attention became more than just professional. Hedren rejected his advances, and that's when things took a sharp turn. Hitchcock didn't just move on. He used his power to lock her into an exclusive contract, ensuring she couldn't work with any other directors. The nightmare didn't stop there. On the set of The Birds, the iconic attic scene pushed Hedren to her breaking point. She had been promised mechanical birds would be used. Instead, real, live birds were unleashed, attacking her, and causing both physical injuries and emotional trauma. It was far from just another day on set. Hedren later revealed that the scene left her so shaken she had to be hospitalized. Despite her undeniable talent and early critical acclaim, the damage was done. Hollywood wasn't ready to rally behind an actress who dared to stand up to a powerhouse like Hitchcock. Her career, which should have skyrocketed, was effectively put on ice. While Hedren didn't completely vanish, she certainly didn't get the roles she deserved. Hollywood's golden gates were firmly shut. Instead of continuing her rise, she found herself on the outskirts of an industry she once dominated, all because she stood her ground, facing the full weight of Hitchcock's influence. The roles dried up and her career never returned to its initial trajectory, no matter how much talent she showed. While Hedren was redefining her path, decades later, another actress faced her own set of challenges. Kim Basinger was the epitome of 90s Hollywood royalty. After sultry performances in Batman and 9½ Weeks, she quickly became the talk of Tinseltown. Her allure was undeniable, combining striking looks with serious acting talent. She solidified her position by becoming a Bond girl in Never Say Never Again, a move that further cemented her A-list status. But in 1993, her career hit a major bump. Basinger made the fateful decision to back out of the film Boxing Helena. The fallout was swift. Producers sued her for breach of contract, and the courts awarded them a whopping $9 million judgment. It was more than just a financial hit. It painted her as unreliable in the eyes of the industry. The lawsuit wasn't the only problem. The public nature of the trial turned her into a Hollywood liability. Studios grew hesitant to cast her, fearing she might walk away from future projects too. Even after she won an Oscar for L.A. Confidential, it wasn't enough to fully restore her reputation. Her career, once shining bright, began to lose its luster. Behind the scenes, Basinger's personal struggles made things even more complicated. She dealt with severe anxiety and agoraphobia, conditions that affected both her ability to work and her public image. The pressure of navigating Hollywood under such circumstances only added to her challenges. As her career faltered, her personal life was also making headlines. A high-profile divorce from Alec Baldwin, along with her bankruptcy declaration, only increased the media scrutiny around her. The film industry, always quick to judge, had already shifted its gaze elsewhere, leaving her to navigate a career filled with setbacks and missed opportunities. Shifting focus to another actress who experienced the highs and lows of fame, Winona Ryder was the quintessential it girl of the late 80s and 90s. With breakout roles in films like Heathers and Edward Scissorhands, Ryder became a symbol of quirky charm and depth. She wasn't just popular in indie films, but made her mark in big-budget productions as well. Her success led to Oscar nominations for Little Women and The Age of Innocence, cementing her reputation as one of the most talented actresses of her generation. But just as it seemed like her career could only go up, everything came crashing down in 2001 when she was arrested for shoplifting. Ryder's arrest for stealing over $5,000 worth of designer goods from Saks Fifth Avenue made headlines everywhere. The media frenzy that followed was intense, and the actress, once Hollywood's darling, found herself in a downward spiral. Studios began distancing themselves, and offers for leading roles dried up. It was a shocking fall from grace for someone who had been riding high on critical and commercial success. Her once thriving career was put on hold, and for years Ryder retreated from the limelight, becoming more of a footnote in Hollywood gossip than a star on the rise. Despite the public scandal and the career damage that followed, Ryder eventually made a comeback. She re-emerged with her role in Stranger Things in 2016, reminding everyone why she had been a star in the first place. Though her time out of the spotlight was long, her return proved that her acting skills were as sharp as ever. While Ryder was navigating her public scandal and eventual resurgence, another actress was quietly facing her own career challenges. Mira Sorvino, who wowed Hollywood with her Oscar-winning role in Mighty Aphrodite, seemed to be on a path to long-term stardom. In the late 90s, she was everywhere, starring in hits like Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion and The Replacement Killers. With charm, talent, and critical praise, Sorvino appeared unstoppable. But behind the scenes, things were falling apart. Years later, it came to light that Harvey Weinstein had blacklisted Sorvino. Why? Because she had rejected his advances. Directors like Peter Jackson even admitted Weinstein discouraged them from casting her. This news shocked many, revealing how her career was quietly derailed. Despite her talent and early success, Weinstein's influence blocked her from many opportunities. Sorvino's career, which should have kept rising, was suddenly stuck. She was a victim of Hollywood's darker side, where power and influence determined success more than talent. As Sorvino quietly fought to keep her career afloat, Jennifer Grey was dealing with her own unexpected downfall in Hollywood. Known and loved for her role as Baby in Dirty Dancing, Grey seemed destined for long-term stardom after the film's huge success. Her charisma and chemistry with co-star Patrick Swayze made her an overnight sensation. But just when it looked like she was on top, her career took a surprising turn. A personal decision changed her image and her career forever. Not long after her rise to fame, Grey decided to get a nose job. It wasn't uncommon in Hollywood, but for Grey, the result wasn't what she had hoped for. The surgery changed her appearance so much that she became almost unrecognizable. The unique features that made her stand out were suddenly gone. This shift had a huge impact on her career. Hollywood, which values distinctiveness, didn't seem to know how to place her anymore. As Grey herself said, she went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. Even though Grey continued to work in TV and smaller film roles, she never regained the same level of fame. Her career didn't hit the heights expected after Dirty Dancing. Years later, she found a moment of renewed fame by winning Dancing with the Stars in 2010, which briefly brought her back into the public eye. But while this win captured fans' attention, her Hollywood career never quite returned to its former glory. While Grey quietly navigated the fallout from her career-altering decision, Katherine Heigl was about to face her own industry backlash, but for very different reasons. In the early 2000s, Heigl was Hollywood's rising star. Thanks to her role in Grey's Anatomy and several hit romantic comedies, she was quickly becoming one of the most sought-after actresses. Playing Dr. Izzy Stevens even earned her an Emmy, solidifying her place at the top. She became known as the Queen of Romantic Comedies. But Heigl's career took a sharp turn when she publicly criticized some of her own projects. Heigl famously called Knocked Up sexist and withdrew from Emmy consideration, claiming the material didn't deserve it. These candid comments didn't sit well with Hollywood. She was soon labeled as difficult to work with. In an industry where reputation is everything, this was a big problem. Rumors of diva behavior on set started circulating. As the whispers got louder, roles began to disappear. Her once bright star started to dim, and she quickly went from being a Hollywood darling to a risky choice for casting directors. Despite the backlash, Heigl didn't fade into the background. She turned her attention to producing, taking control of her projects. She also returned to TV with roles in shows like Suits and Firefly Lane. It was a move to rebuild both her career and her image. Heigl has since spoken out about how the backlash affected her mental health, shedding light on the pressures of Hollywood. In a similar vein, Megan Fox experienced a meteoric rise and a sudden stumble. She shot to fame with Transformers in 2007, instantly becoming one of Hollywood's hottest stars. Dubbed the next Angelina Jolie, Fox was everywhere, from magazine covers to red carpets. But her quick rise came crashing down after one ill-advised comment. She compared director Michael Bay to an infamous dictator during an interview. That didn't go over well. The backlash was swift and Fox was dropped from the Transformers franchise. Almost overnight, her reputation took a hit. The media labeled her ungrateful and difficult to work with. This made it hard for her to land major roles. Fox found herself being typecast in less serious parts, far from the leading lady roles she had enjoyed before. Hollywood's door wasn't entirely closed, but it wasn't as welcoming as it once was. However, Fox didn't let this define her. She began speaking out about the hypersexualization she had faced early in her career and the struggles of being taken seriously as an actress. Fox also started exploring other interests outside of acting. She embraced environmental activism and focused on her role as a mother. By sharing more about her personal life and her thoughts on Hollywood's double standards, she began to reshape her public image. Though her career never returned to the height of her Transformers days, Fox showed she wasn't just a one-dimensional Hollywood starlet. While Fox was navigating her career hurdles, Monique was facing her own uphill battle. She blew audiences away with her Oscar-winning performance in Precious. You'd think her career would skyrocket after that. But things took a sharp turn when she spoke out about being underpaid for promotional duties. Monique wasn't afraid to name names, calling out Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. Hollywood wasn't too happy about that. By refusing to play along, Monique found herself blacklisted. She claimed she was lowballed for roles and expected to work for free to promote the film. Standing her ground came with a price. Roles started drying up. But Monique didn't disappear. She returned to her roots, performing stand-up comedy and staying connected to her audience. In recent years, she even secured a Las Vegas residency, showing she still had star power. Despite the backlash, Monique stayed true to herself and kept fighting. Beyond the stage, Monique used her voice to speak up for equality in Hollywood. She didn't shy away from the tough conversations about pay and fairness. Speaking of strong women challenging the status quo, Rose McGowan was also making waves behind the scenes. Known for her bold roles in Scream and Charmed, McGowan was a 90s favorite. But beneath the surface, she was dealing with something far darker. She was one of the first to accuse Harvey Weinstein of misconduct. After rejecting him, her career stalled. Roles disappeared, and she found herself blacklisted from Hollywood. For years, McGowan stayed silent, fearing the backlash and industry power. But when the Me Too movement gained traction, she became one of its loudest voices. It came at a cost, though. Legal battles, public scrutiny, and media attacks followed. Still, McGowan didn't back down. She wrote her memoir, Brave, sharing her story and pushing for change in Hollywood's power structure. Her voice was impossible to ignore. Beyond activism, McGowan explored other creative outlets. She tried her hand at music, directing, and even released a documentary series. Though her career as an actress hit roadblocks, McGowan showed she wasn't just going to fade away. She used her voice and platform to fight for justice, proving her story wasn't just about Hollywood, it was about changing an entire industry. Similarly, Annabella Sciorra, famed for her role in The Sopranos, faced her own battles. In the 90s, Sciorra's career was on the rise. Her standout performances in Jungle Fever and The Hand That Rocks the Cradle made her a star to watch. But everything changed when she accused Harvey Weinstein of misconduct. Once she spoke out, the industry quickly turned its back on her. Sciorra saw her offers disappear, and her promising career came to a halt. Hollywood seemed to punish her for speaking out against a powerful figure. For years, she struggled to find work. The impact of Weinstein's influence was strong, and Sciorra was left on the outside looking in. She found herself shunned, wondering how a career filled with so much promise could fall apart so quickly. The roles that had once seemed within reach were suddenly nowhere to be found. Her blacklisting was a stark reminder of how the industry treated those who spoke out against its most influential figures. Although Sciorra eventually returned to the screen, her career never returned to the heights it once promised. While she later took on roles in television shows like Luke Cage and Truth Be Told, her time as a rising star had been stolen by the industry's refusal to support her. Despite the challenges, Sciorra continues to push forward, but the shadow of Weinstein's blacklist still lingers over her once bright career. Turning to Linda Fiorentino, she made a splash with The Last Seduction in the mid-90s. Her performance drew rave reviews. Fiorentino was praised for portraying complex, strong female characters with ease. Critics buzzed about her award potential, and audiences were captivated by her work. But soon, rumors started circulating. Whispers about her being difficult on set began to surface. And in Hollywood, a reputation like that can quickly turn into a barrier. As the rumors spread, offers started drying up. Directors became hesitant to cast her, worried about possible on-set conflicts. Despite the setbacks, Fiorentino didn't vanish from the arts altogether. Instead, she shifted her focus. She reportedly turned to photography and began exploring other creative outlets. Fiorentino also got involved in philanthropy, using her time and platform to support educational and cultural initiatives. Transitioning from career challenges to personal tragedies, Brittany Murphy charmed audiences in Clueless, Girl Interrupted, and 8 Mile. She had an infectious energy that lit up the screen, and her versatility in both comedic and dramatic roles made her a fan favorite. But behind the scenes, rumors began swirling about her health, dramatic weight loss, and personal life. These whispers, often amplified by tabloids, cast a shadow over her rising star. Speculation about her well-being became constant. Tragically, Murphy passed away in 2009 at the age of just 32. Her sudden death shocked both fans and friends. The official cause was pneumonia and anemia, complicated by prescription medications found in her system. But the circumstances around her death led to ongoing speculation. Just months later, her husband, Simon Monjack, also died under similar conditions. The strange nature of their deaths fueled conspiracy theories, including concerns about toxic mold in their home, although no evidence supported this claim. Murphy's sudden passing left many unanswered questions and a profound sense of loss. Her career, which once seemed full of promise, was cut short, leaving fans wondering what could have been. While Murphy's story highlights the fragility of life, Shannon Doherty exemplifies resilience in the face of adversity. A 90s icon known for Beverly Hills, 90210, and Charmed, Doherty had the talent and charisma that made her a household name. But her career wasn't without controversy. Reports of on-set feuds and difficult behavior followed her closely, leading to her being written off both shows. Despite continuing to work, she struggled to recapture the same level of fame she had in her prime. In 2015, Doherty was diagnosed with breast cancer, and later revealed it had advanced to stage 4. Instead of stepping back from the public eye, she chose to share her journey with openness and honesty. Her battle resonated with many as she became an advocate for cancer awareness. Doherty's candidness about her experience helped shift the conversation around the illness, bringing more visibility to the fight against cancer. In 2019, she returned to her roots, joining the reboot of BH 90210, reconnecting with her longtime fans. While her career shifted away from the spotlight, Doherty remained active in charity work, focusing on cancer awareness and support. Moving from seasoned actresses to those who started young, Amanda Bynes was the queen of teen comedy in the early 2000s. With shows like The Amanda Show and movies like She's the Man, Bynes was a Hollywood favorite. Her comedic timing and relatable charm made her a star, but things quickly took a turn. Erratic behavior, legal troubles, and mental health struggles became the new headlines. Suddenly, her past accomplishments were overshadowed by personal issues. Bynes eventually stepped away from acting to focus on herself. She enrolled in fashion school, shifting her attention to a new passion. In 2014, she was placed under a conservatorship due to ongoing mental health challenges. In recent years, Bynes has shown signs of recovery. She even expressed interest in making a return to acting, sharing her struggles openly in interviews. Similarly, navigating the challenges of early fame, Tara Reid was the life of the party in American Pie and The Big Lebowski. She became a fixture in teen comedies and cult classics. But soon, her off-screen antics began to overshadow her work. Public partying, run-ins with paparazzi, and botched plastic surgeries landed her in the tabloids. For many, it became hard to see past the headlines and focus on her acting. Reid has been proactive in trying to revitalize her career. She took part in reality TV shows and took on a variety of roles. One of her biggest comebacks came with the Sharknado series, which gained a cult following. Reid has been open about her past mistakes, showing a willingness to learn and adapt. She's also been vocal about the pressures Hollywood's beauty standards placed on her, advocating for self-acceptance. Lastly, Misha Barton stole hearts on the OC as Marissa Cooper. Her performance made her an overnight sensation, with both fans and critics falling for her. Barton became the face of early 2000s teen drama, and the future looked bright for her career. But when she left the show, things started to unravel fast. Her promising trajectory was derailed by personal issues that began dominating the headlines. In 2007, Barton was arrested for a DUI, and her struggles with legal problems and health soon overshadowed her acting. Barton's erratic behavior and highly publicized breakdown, which led to her hospitalization, turned her into tabloid fodder. Hollywood, which once praised her, began to distance itself. The young star found herself dealing with more media attention about her personal life than her professional achievements. Her once promising acting career stalled as she became associated more with controversy than her talents. Roles became scarce, and her struggles with depression and anxiety only fueled more negative attention. Despite efforts to return to the spotlight, Barton never fully regained the momentum she had during her The O.C. days. Hollywood had moved on, and her career was left in the shadows of the very public and personal battles she faced. She was one of the queens of classic Hollywood and received several awards and nominations during her peak. Known for her incredible talent and ageless beauty and grace, Cybill Shepherd has made quite a name for herself. But behind the dazzling smile and the star-studded career lies a secret, a truth she's kept hidden from the flashing lights of the cameras and the prying eyes of the public. What could a celebrity of her stature possibly want to keep under wraps? The answer lies in a series of events, choices, and moments that paint a picture very different from the one we see on the silver screen. From peak fame to personal battles, Shepherd's story is more than just tabloid fodder. It's a saga that questions the very nature of celebrity privacy. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear is something Cybill Shepherd doesn't want you to know. She had an affair with a married man. Earlier on in her life, Cybill met a man named Peter Bogdanovich. He was a director, producer, and an asset in the Hollywood industry, but somehow the unlikely couple fell in love and had an affair, even when Peter was married with 2 children. But that's not all. According to a Juicy People article from May 1974, Bogdanovich made quite the exit from his previous life with his wife, Patty Platt, and their 2 kids, all in the name of love for Shepherd. At the time of this cinematic love affair, they were living the high life in a lavish Bel Air mansion, the kind dreams are made of. But let's rewind to the awkward beginnings of this Hollywood romance. How exactly did it start? Well, Bogdanovich, in his recollection, paints a vivid picture of their first encounter. Shepherd was perched on the floor, seeming a bit nonchalant. When the director probed about her activities, she casually dropped the bomb that she was in college and had a soft spot for reading. But here's where it gets interesting. Dostoevsky, the heavyweight of Russian literature, was Shepherd's proclaimed favorite author. Yet when Bogdanovich dug deeper and asked which specific book stole her heart, Shepherd stumbled in her response. Red flags, right? But Bogdanovich, ever the perceptive storyteller, sensed a casually destructive quality about her. Despite the enigmatic aura, Shepherd found her way into his film, and their connection started brewing like a Hollywood plot twist. Despite their apparent bliss, the duo waved off any notions of marriage. When he was asked about their relationship and why he's not deciding to marry Cybill, Bogdanovich, with a dash of dismissiveness, said, "That is a chilling thought. Does she look like Mrs. Bogdanovich?" While this came off as an innocent remark, some say it was an indirect insult to Cybill, as it suggested that she was only good enough to be a mistress, never a wife. She couldn't marry right. Cybill Shepherd's journey down the aisle has been a bit of a roller coaster, marked by several marriages that captured the public's attention. Let's take a stroll down the matrimonial memory lane. It all started in a Memphis nightclub where Cybill Shepherd and David Ford's worlds collided in a whirlwind of music and attraction. They were like magnets, drawn together from the get-go. Ford, a guide into the enchanting realm of blues music, sparked a fire in Shepherd's heart for the stage. As their love story unfolded, so did Shepherd's newfound passion for performing. However, every love story has its plot twists. In a candid chat with The Guardian, Shepherd dropped a bombshell, revealing that her bluesy love journey hit a sour note. According to her, Ford Strayed, betraying the trust she had invested in their relationship. The couple called it quits in 1982. The reason for their divorce? Well, they cited irreconcilable differences, and as you can imagine, the divorce wasn't a walk in the park for Cybill. Fast forward to the divorce drama, and the dollars started flowing, $15,000 to be precise, landing in Ford's pocket as part of the settlement. Meanwhile, Shepherd clutched the reins of motherhood, securing custody of their daughter. It was a bittersweet finale to a chapter that started with harmonious melodies, but ended on a dissonant chord. In the aftermath, Shepard didn't hold back in interviews. Speaking to the Washington Post, she painted a vivid picture of her ex, suggesting that Ford lacked seriousness and passion for pretty much everything. It was a tale of love, loss, and a splash of bluesy betrayal that left Shepard singing a new tune as she ventured into the next chapter of her life. She was in emotional ruin because somewhere in her heart she had thought David was the one, and she once loved him with all of her heart. As a matter of fact, the couple had a child together, a beautiful girl named Clementine. Sybil saw no end to this new misery she had plunged herself into. The end of any marriage is no easy ordeal for anyone, but she later found the courage to open up about the pain and heartbreak, and the reactions she got from the public both soothed and confused her at the same time. On one hand, some sympathized with the star's personal struggles, showing love and support any way they could, but on the other hand, some others gobbled up the gossip columns, spreading as many rumors as they could about why the marriage ended. But even beyond all of these, anyone would think that Sybil's career would suffer. However, the divorce didn't spell doom for her career. If anything, it added a layer of relatability to her public persona, showcasing the real person behind the Hollywood glamour. Although, in the end, some argue that her career seemed to skyrocket and maybe marry, and this time, stay with the person forever. Little did she know that soon enough her wish would come true, or will it? Just about 5 years later, Sybil found love again, and she eventually tied the knot with Bruce Oppenheim, a successful chiropractor. For the first time in a long time, Sybil felt butterflies again and felt what it was like to be loved for who she was. This time, she was sure she had corrected her mistake with her ex-husband and had found the perfect man. Sadly, fate had other plans, as just 3 years later, in 1990, the couple got divorced, giving their beautiful one-year-old twins, Ariel and Zachariah, a broken home. Once more, the public got a front-row seat to the ups and downs of a celebrity marriage. This time around, the media buzz was a bit more frenzied, perhaps fueled by the high-profile nature of both parties. The marriage was the second for both Sybil and Bruce, so it got more attention. However, Sybil weathered the storm with resilience. She felt horrible about it, and the fact that she had had 2 husbands in less than a decade bothered her. Some reports say that she began to feel unworthy of love and tried to distract herself with her career. But unfortunately, it was a lot harder this time because Bruce seemed to be more upset about the divorce than she was, and as a result, he appeared to shut her off completely, leaving her to raise their kids alone and balance a thriving career at the same time. When talking about her pain, Sybil said, "I'm hoping that at some point I'll be able to talk to him and he'll be able to get over his anger about the divorce, to be able to talk about what's best for the children." The public's opinion this time was less than friendly compared to the last time. The perception of Sybil began to morph into one that painted her as a problematic and difficult woman to love and live with as a result of the multiple divorces she has been through. However, Sybil decided that this time she was not going to jump into another relationship. This time she would take things slow and be absolutely sure before she ever got married again. As a matter of fact, she even began to consider never getting married again. This was her mindset until 9 years later, in the year 1999, love got a hold of her, and this time with a man named Andrei Nikolaevich. The taxi driver sensation hit the world with a love bomb by announcing her engagement to Andrei Nikolaevich, a former jeweler who's now rocking the title of psychologist. In a Broadway-worthy reveal to the New York Daily News, the actress spilled the beans while basking in the limelight of her role in The Best Man. With a twinkle in her eye, she exclaimed, "I'm engaged!" And if that wasn't enough to set the town buzzing, she dropped the interesting twist on her fiancé's impressive career switch. He used to be a jeweler, but he made a transition and became a psychologist. Nikolaevich is clearly a man of diverse talents. In a plot twist no one saw coming, Shepard confessed, "I never thought I'd get married again." But love, as they say, has its own script, and Shepard and Nikolaevich are about to embark on a new chapter of their love story. However, the ghost of her past keeps haunting her through the media as she married the wrong man twice before and has grown up children to prove it who do not have a present father. It is a mistake she made, and she would sadly pay for the rest of her life. She struggled with weight and body image. In the raw and unfiltered pages of Sybil Disobedience, Sybil Shepherd lays bare the intricate trajectory of her life, revealing a landscape marked by personal struggles, the kind that most often remains concealed beneath the glittering surface of the entertainment industry. Weight and body image become focal points in Shepherd's narrative, unraveling a deeply personal battle that transcends the superficiality of Hollywood standards. In a culture obsessed with appearances, Shepherd confronts the demons that lurk in the shadows of fame. The book becomes a mirror reflecting the harsh scrutiny she faced, the whispers that echoed in the corridors of showbiz, and the relentless pressure to conform to an unrealistic ideal. The chapters on body image don't romanticize the struggle. Instead, Shepherd paints a vivid picture of the challenges she faced, of feeling scrutinized and judged, of navigating a world that often measured her worth by external standards. She suffered sexual harassment. A little into her career, Sybil Shepherd stepped into the spotlight to share some terrible and difficult news, shedding light on her unsettling encounter with the once mighty studio head, Leslie Moonves. On The Michelle Collins Show, Shepherd peeled back the layers of an industry rife with power dynamics and exposed the personal toll it took on her career. The actress disclosed a disturbing incident during a dinner with Moonves, where the conversation took an uncomfortably intimate turn. Moonves, a figure wielding significant influence, allegedly propositioned Shepherd for inappropriate intimate relations, revealing intimate details about his personal life in the process. Shepherd, the star of her own popular series at the time, recounts Moonves expressing dissatisfaction with his wife and a mistress, leading to the inappropriate suggestion of taking her home. With a steely resolve, Shepherd declined the advances and insisted that she would take her own car home when he requested to drop her off. She had her own car parked outside, safeguarded by an off-duty LAPD officer. But little did she know that the director didn't take kindly to her rejection. Shepherd's show, which had been riding the waves of popularity, faced an abrupt cancellation. The actress connects the dots, attributing the sudden downfall of her series to her rejection of Moonves' advances. It was then that she voiced out, but her allegation that placed her among a growing chorus of women accusing the studio head of using his power to silence those who rebuffed his advances. She was not alone. Leslie Moonves found himself at the epicenter of a storm, facing allegations of inappropriate misconduct that have reverberated throughout the industry. The cascade of accusations against him has prompted a wider investigation into a potential culture of misconduct at CBS, underscoring the broader implications of such behavior within powerful institutions. She dated Elvis Presley. In a throwback that takes us deep into the annals of Hollywood history, Sybil Shepherd, the luminary of the 70s silver screen, peels back the layers of time to reveal a chapter from her past, one intertwined with the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley. She was only a budding actress at the time, catapulted to stardom with breakthrough roles in iconic films like The Last Picture Show and The Heartbreak Kid. At just 22, Sybil Shepherd's star was on the rise, and it caught the attention of none other than the legendary Elvis Presley. When the news reached the king that Sybil was in Memphis, he couldn't resist the opportunity to meet her. Their encounter, steeped in the heady mix of fame and allure, led to a romance that left an indelible mark on Sybil's memories. She's been candid about their liaison, not shying away from the intimate details. In an interview, she dropped a bombshell about having taught Elvis one major thing in the area of intimacy, a revelation that sent shockwaves through the echoes of their past. But also, looking back, she felt embarrassed about telling the world something so personal. Yet, like many tales of passion, theirs was not destined to be an enduring saga. The romance that sparked like wildfire dimmed all too soon, overshadowed by the struggles that haunted the king, prescription drug habits that became a chasm between them. Sybil, despite being captivated by the most beautiful man she had ever seen, found herself on a divergent path, one free from the allure of substances. The bedroom where passion and complications collided became a stage for a fleeting love story. Sybil reminisces about Elvis, a man who would enter the room in moments of vulnerability, leaving behind not just his presence but also tokens of affection, drugs, and dazzling emerald and diamond jewelry. It was a relationship painted with contrasts, where the intensity of beauty and fame clashed with the shadows of personal struggles. Financial insecurity. In the roller coaster ride of life, even Hollywood stars like Sybil Shepherd find themselves navigating stormy financial seas. The late 1990s was a time when the world was dialing up the internet on chunky computers, and Sybil was facing a financial tempest. Money, usually a silent backdrop in the world of fame, took center stage. The whispers of financial challenges grew louder, echoing through the glamorous corridors of Hollywood. It was during this tumultuous period that Sybil Shepherd found herself at a crossroads, a junction where she had to confront the harsh reality of financial turmoil. In a move that many would consider a last resort, she made the difficult decision to file for bankruptcy. This wasn't just a blip on the financial radar, it was a seismic event that shook the foundations of her economic stability. Bankruptcy was a word loaded with stigma, and it became a chapter in Sybil's life story, one that demanded not just financial resilience, but emotional strength. Sybil and Bruce Willis's drama. Let's rewind to the set of Moonlighting in the 80s. A time when the TV screens were graced by the chemistry of Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis. Amidst the on-screen banter and detective escapades, there brewed a different kind of drama behind the scenes. Reports surfaced not of the harmonious collaboration we often imagine, but of tension that hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. The working relationship between Sybil Shepherd and her co-star Bruce Willis was far from smooth sailing. It was a tale of on-set discord, a feud that simmered beneath the surface of their on-screen camaraderie. As the cameras rolled, capturing the witty exchanges and crime-solving antics, off-camera whispers spoke of a challenging dynamic. The specifics of the feud remained elusive, confined to the closed doors of the set. Yet the tension became an unspoken undercurrent, a palpable energy that altered the narrative of what viewers witnessed on screen. In the real-world script of Moonlighting, the clash between Shepherd and Willis added an unexpected layer of complexity. It wasn't the seamless partnership often portrayed in the entertainment world. Instead, it was a glimpse into the reality that not all co-star relationships are built on camaraderie. The feud was a narrative that, while not stealing the limelight from the show's success, added a certain tension to the backstage drama. In the end, the reports of the feud became a footnote in the history of Moonlighting, a behind-the-scenes saga that colored the era when Shepherd and Willis shared the small screen. It's a reminder that the magic of television doesn't always translate into a harmonious off-screen partnership, and sometimes the tension backstage becomes its own kind of drama, hidden in the shadows of Hollywood's bright lights. Projects. Hollywood has seen many stars, but there are some that are just unforgettable. Lonnie Anderson, the sensational TV star who made waves in the 70s, is a clear example of a Hollywood star who is both irreplaceable and unforgettable. From 1966 to date, Lonnie has shown the world what it means to be a phenomenal actress. Over the years, she has risen above the storms of life and etched her name in the history of Hollywood. She may be in her 70s right now, but she looks nothing like her age, and it may surprise you to know that she is still acting. This gorgeous and talented actress has led a life that is worth emulating, and these mind-blowing facts about her will surely leave you shocked and inspired at the same time. Why she decided to teach. In the 70s and 80s, Lonnie was living the life of a superstar, and she was loving it. However, most people don't know what her life looked like before the fame. In her early 20s, she made certain decisions that left her on the brink of poverty, and she had no choice but to take on certain jobs to support herself and her baby. See, Lonnie Anderson has always been one to turn lemons into lemonades, and her attitude towards a broken marriage was not any different. Before she got famous, the actress was living a normal life. Sure, she had the makings of a superstar, but she had not caught the acting bug yet. So her focus at the time was building a family with a man she had fallen in love with, Bruce Hasselberg. The couple later welcomed a beautiful daughter, but things quickly went sour. Their marriage ended in a divorce before Lonnie even turned 21, and she was left to fend for herself and her baby. This was one of the most trying times in Lonnie's life, especially because she didn't plan on ending up alone at such a young age with such a huge responsibility. However, instead of running away from her problems, she decides to face the situation head-on. Lonnie made up her mind to do everything in her power to fend for her child, even if it meant taking on a teaching job. Sure, she was young, but she was also determined to build a better life for herself. The marriage may have ended, but she soon realized that she had her whole life ahead of her and she had the power to transform her life. So she took on a teaching position and poured her heart into it. As she was teaching, she also used the opportunity to complete college, knowing well that being educated will open more doors for her in future. Soon enough, she was able to earn enough to take care of herself and provide her daughter's basic needs. This phase of her life is not one that a lot of people know about, but it surely contributed to making her the resilient person she is known as today. Since then, Lonnie has taken every challenge that life has thrown her way and turned it around for her good. She is truly a fighter, and success is never far from people like her. More than a sex symbol. In an industry where beauty is an acceptable currency, Lonnie wanted to offer more than just beauty. The world saw her as a sex symbol, but she wanted more for herself. There is no denying that Lonnie Anderson was on top of the world in the peak years of her career, and her looks contributed greatly to her success. Her timeless beauty possessed an ethereal allure with her cascading golden locks, sparkling azure eyes that mirrored the vast skies of admiration, and a captivating smile that could light up the darkest rooms. Her curvaceous silhouette and graceful demeanor enchanted audiences and made it easy for her to stay relevant at a time when physical attractiveness was in high demand in the industry. When her star began to rise, people fell in love with her for a lot of reasons. Some loved her acting skills, while others fell in love with her looks. Her presence on screens reminded people of the likes of Jane Mansfield and Marilyn Monroe, and as much as she loved being associated with those names, there was a part of her that wanted more. Being seen as a sex symbol got her a lot of fame and attention, but she knew that she had more to offer, so she decided to do everything in her power to show her fans that her skills were mind-blowing. As her career progressed, she started working towards becoming a more versatile actress and being loved for more than just her physical looks. With every role she took on, she strategically showcased her diverse skills and made career decisions that allowed her to show the world what she was capable of. Unlike a lot of actresses who were not able to break free from the sex symbol tag, Lonnie strategically worked on her career until people began to see beyond her looks and endowed body. These days, when her name is mentioned in a room, people remember her as the phenomenal actress who embodied diverse roles and gave her fans performances they will never forget. It is impossible to refer to her as just a sex symbol because she has made it clear to the world that she is way more than that. She is a versatile actress who can transform herself into different characters in different genres. From drama to comedy and many more genres, Lonnie Anderson has been unstoppable over the years. You would agree that it takes a certain level of stubbornness and persistence for a celebrity to change the image that people have of them. Lonnie Anderson stopped at nothing till she became the actress that she dreamed of becoming, and her tenacity inspires several women till date. Bold advocate. When she came into the industry, it wasn't just about the glitz and glam for her. She had her eyes set on more. She wasn't just here to be a famous actress. She wanted to be a trailblazer, a force to be reckoned with in the industry. One look at Lonnie Anderson's career exploits, and one can tell that the actress has always been determined to empower women and speak up when she felt like women were treated unfairly. She was not just your average Hollywood starlet, but a fierce advocate for equal opportunities and a champion for women everywhere. From the pinnacle of her career to the present day, she's been on a relentless mission to support and uplift her fellow women. It's like she took a superhero oath to fight for equality, and boy, did she deliver. There is no denying that unequal pay has been the thorn in the side of the entertainment industry for ages. But when Lonnie Anderson strolled in, she wasn't having any of it. She rolled up her sleeves, fixed her gaze on the inequality bullseye, and declared war. Lonnie became a trailblazer in demanding equal pay, making waves as one of the first female celebs to throw down the gauntlet on WKRP in Cincinnati. In a world where the pay gap was as wide as the Grand Canyon, Lonnie stood tall and said, "Enough is enough." But she didn't just stop at demanding equal pay. She became a beacon of empowerment for women everywhere. Her actions echoed louder than any script she ever delivered. Lonnie Anderson wasn't just another actress. She was a fierce advocate for change, a catalyst for a shift in the status quo. Fast forward to today, and Lonnie's legacy is etched in the annals of Hollywood. She's not just a name on the Walk of Fame, she's a symbol of resilience, a reminder that one person can spark a revolution. In a world where inequality still rears its ugly head, Lonnie Anderson, her life shows what happens when a woman possesses the power of determination, when a woman refuses to let the spotlight dim the fire within her. She raises awareness for cancer research and COPD. If there is someone who believes that her voice makes a difference, it's Lonnie Anderson. Over the years, the actress has spoken boldly and supported causes that matter to her regardless of what people have said. Clearly, there's so much more to this lady than meets the eye. Not many people know this about the actress, but Lonnie, the powerhouse herself, boldly stepped into the ring against breast cancer, and she beat it. Yep, she didn't just beat it, she gave it a knockout punch. But instead of just sipping margaritas by the beach after her victory, she decided to dive headfirst into the world of advocacy. This incredible woman raised her voice like a rock star for cancer research. She became a beacon of hope, shining a light on the importance of awareness. And let's not forget the cold, hard cash needed to fund the research that can save lives. She selflessly donated to this cause. She would have easily used the money to acquire luxurious items for herself, just like a lot of celebrities do. But she decided that it was better to put her funds into a project that would better the lives of others and help people that have cancer. Knowing that she was contributing to cancer research gave her a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Interestingly, Lonnie Anderson didn't stop at just one fight. Nope, she grabbed the mic again, this time for COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Why, you ask? Well, it turns out her parents were in a serious relationship with cigarettes, and it affected their health so much that they ended up with COPD. Lonnie saw the toll it took on her family, and she made up her mind not to let others go through what her folks endured. It's safe to say that Lonnie Anderson is the unsung hero, fighting battles off-screen, using her voice not just to entertain, but to make a real difference in the world. Whether it's cancer or COPD, she's there, a fierce advocate with a heart as big as Hollywood. She's proving that a glamorous Hollywood life can come with a side of meaningful impact. Resilient through the storms. Now, we've all heard tales of celebrities who crumble under the weight of fame, but not Lonnie. She's got a determination and perseverance that could give anyone in the entertainment industry a run for their money. The road she's traveled has been anything but smooth, marked by challenges and a fair share of highly publicized, tumultuous relationships that had the tabloids working overtime. One of the most challenging phases of her life was her high-profile marriage to Reynolds in 1988. It started off like a Hollywood fairy tale, blissful moments, an adopted son named Quentin, but the script quickly flipped. The fairy tale turned into a roller coaster hurtling towards a nasty divorce in 1993 that left both stars with their reputations hanging by a thread. And you know what the beautiful thing is? Despite the relentless scrutiny and public fallout, Lonnie Anderson didn't crumble. Nope, not her. She found a way to rise above it all, navigating through the stormy seas of tabloid chaos with an admirable grace. Imagine the headlines, the whispers, the judgment. It's enough to shake anyone to their core, but not Lonnie. She stood tall, weathering the storms of tumultuous marriages and personal problems with a resilience that's truly awe-inspiring. Her career may have faced some turbulence along the way, but she emerged from the chaos with her spirit unbroken. She is like an unsinkable ship sailing through the unpredictable waters of fame, through marriages that made headlines and personal struggles that would make anyone falter. She not only endured, but triumphed. In a town where the spotlight can burn, Lonnie's resilience shines like a beacon, proving that sometimes the most beautiful stars are the ones that withstand the toughest storms. This Hollywood legend has shown us the true meaning of grace under pressure. She spread her wings. Many people know Lonnie as an actress, but not many people know that this sensational actress has also worked as a producer. From the very beginning of her career, Lonnie made a conscious effort to stand out. In a town where everyone's vying for the spotlight, she found her own spotlight and shone brilliantly. It wasn't just about the looks or the charisma. It was about that extra something that made Lonnie uniquely herself. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Lonnie Anderson wasn't content with just being in front of the camera. No, she decided to spread her wings and venture into the world of production. Now that takes guts. Imagine stepping out of the comfort zone of being a celebrated actress to take charge behind the scenes. One of her notable ventures into production was the TV movie White Hot: The Mysterious Murder of Thelma Todd, where she not only starred, but also wore the producer's hat. It's one thing to take on a challenging role, but it's a whole different ballgame to oversee the entire production. Yet, Lonnie wasn't one to shy away from challenges. She embraced them. But Lonnie Anderson didn't stop there. She went on to produce another TV movie titled Sorry, Wrong Number, showcasing not only her acting prowess, but also her knack for bringing compelling stories to the screen. It's a bold move to invest not just your talent, but your time and resources into creating your own works. And that's exactly what Lonnie did. And let's not forget her foray into sitcom production with Easy Street. It's like she said, "Why settle for just one role when I can wear multiple hats?" She took charge, made decisions, and brought her creative vision to life. Lonnie Anderson didn't just follow the Hollywood script, she wrote her own. From captivating audiences as an actress to making waves as a producer, she's proven that true greatness lies in the courage to stand out and take charge. This Hollywood icon is not just a star on the screen, but a force behind it, rewriting the rules and leaving her mark in the industry. Staying relevant in the industry. A lot of people believe that when an actress gets older, it becomes difficult for such an actress to survive in the industry. This is because younger actresses are usually prioritized when it comes to acting opportunities, but Lonnie's story has been different over the years, and at over 78 years young, Lonnie is still very much a force to be reckoned with in the entertainment industry. Now, that's not just impressive, it's downright inspiring. She hasn't let age become a roadblock. Instead, she's turned it into a stepping stone to showcase that talent knows no expiration date. While others might be contemplating retirement, Lonnie remains an active and vibrant presence in the industry. She has refused to slow down because there's still so much to explore and share. Her commitment to her craft is nothing short of admirable. What's even more remarkable is that she's not just sitting pretty, she's diving headfirst into various projects. Television appearances? Check. Charity events? Absolutely. Lonnie Anderson isn't just relevant. She's an integral part of the entertainment landscape, proving that age is but a number. Interestingly, she's slated to feature in a Lifetime film, Ladies of the 80s: A Diva's Christmas. Lonnie isn't just making appearances, she's securing leading roles and keeping the audience hooked with her undeniable charm and talent. In a world that often dismisses seasoned actresses, Lonnie Anderson is a beacon of resilience and tenacity. She's showing the industry and the world that there's so much more to offer beyond the stereotypes associated with age. Every day that passes by, she proves that staying relevant isn't about fighting against time, but dancing with it, embracing every chapter of life, and showing that the spotlight belongs to those who continue to shine, no matter how many candles are on their birthday cake. The selfless philanthropist. You know, Lonnie Anderson isn't just a fantastic actress, she's got a heart of gold too. One mind-blowing fact about her is that she's been making a real impact through her philanthropic endeavors. It's not just about the glitz and glamour of Hollywood for her. She's dedicated to making a positive difference. One shining example of her commitment is the Celebrity Recognition Award she received from the American Cancer Society. Now picture this, Lonnie, not just gracing our screens with her talent, but also being recognized for her efforts in the fight against cancer. This award isn't just a shiny trophy, it represents the tireless work she's put into supporting cancer-related causes. It's like a big thumbs up from the universe, acknowledging her significant contributions. You can almost see her not just as a TV icon, but as a real-life hero, standing up for something bigger than herself. And it doesn't stop there. Lonnie's involvement in philanthropy goes beyond awards and recognition. She's actively working to make the world a better place, showing that kindness is just as glamorous as any Hollywood premiere. It's like she's using her fame not just to shine in the spotlight, but also to shine a light on important causes. Lonnie Anderson is not just a talented actress, but also a compassionate soul making waves in the world of philanthropy. It's a side of her that adds an extra layer of awe and admiration to the person we see on our screens. And who knows, maybe she's inspiring others to take up the mantle of doing good in their own way. Lonnie is not just entertaining us, but also for making the world a better place, one award and one act of kindness at a time. She was honored in a special way. In 1986, Lonnie Anderson, the actress we all know and love, got the Hollywood treatment. No, not another blockbuster movie. Something even more iconic. She got her very own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, imagine strolling down that legendary sidewalk, surrounded by the glitz and glamour of Tinseltown. As you walk, you spot Lonnie's star shining brightly among the countless others. It's like a glittering constellation in the concrete jungle of Hollywood, and she earned her place there. This prestigious honor showed her outstanding contributions to the entertainment industry. It's not just about being a talented actress, it's about leaving an indelible mark that stands the test of time, and Lonnie did just that. So that star isn't just a piece of sidewalk bling, it's a symbol of a career that's captured our hearts and stood out in the vast landscape of showbiz. It's like a permanent applause for all those unforgettable moments she shared with us on screen. Getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is like etching your name in the history of Hollywood, and Lonnie Anderson did it in style. Her career has spanned for over 7 decades. Imagine the entertainment industry as a glamorous, high-stakes arena where dreams are chased and hearts are broken. Many aspire to enter, but only a few make it through the audition room, and even fewer manage to stay relevant for decades. Lonnie Anderson? Well, she's one of those few who not only entered the scene, but left a remarkable legacy, carving a path that's lasted over 7 decades. To survive and thrive in the entertainment industry is like navigating a roller coaster of highs and lows, and Lonnie's career is the embodiment of this wild ride. It's not just about talent, it's about the tenacity to weather the storms, the patience to endure the slow climbs, and the courage to keep pushing forward when the spotlight seems a distant dream. Think about it, she didn't just burst onto the scene and disappear after a brief moment of fame. Nope. When the going got tough, Lonnie kept on pushing. Whether it was the early days when her career was taking baby steps or the pinnacle of her fame, she demonstrated an unparalleled determination to not just survive but thrive. And here's the beauty of it. She didn't just rest on her laurels once she hit the big time. Instead, she used her newfound fame to develop the skills and character traits necessary to sustain her position in the industry. It's like she turned every challenge into an opportunity for growth, evolving with the industry and staying relevant through the ever-changing tides of showbiz. Lonnie Anderson's career is not just a resume, it's a saga of passion, persistence, and an unwavering commitment to the craft. It's safe to say that she's a living legend,